Afternoon, everyone. It's Mr. Pipes here, and today I'm not feeling too good, so I called out for work today. I've been having some problems with my Crohn's, um, so I kind of had to call out today. I'm not feeling all that great. Hopefully, I can feel good enough to do this video. But I've been wanting to do this video for quite a while, and what we're gonna do is we're going to season the humidor. Um, I'm going to show you guys real quick. I'm going to tilt the camera. You won't be able to see me anymore, but that's fine. Alright, so what we have here is a 100 plus count humidor. Real nice. I'll show you guys the front. As you can see, the lid. And that's the front. Really nice. I bought this from eBay. If I do remember correctly, it cost about 50, almost 50, around 40 some dollars, so not too bad of a price. So anyway, I figured I would do a video on that. Now the first thing you need to do, the first things that you need is, of course, the number one thing that you need is distilled water. Has to be distilled. No spring water, no drinking water, purified, nothing like that, because that will produce mold. Distilled water is a cleaner source of water where you will get mold from time to time, but very surprisingly if you do get mold. But distilled water will keep your cigars from molding. It's supposed to. Now, what I'm going to do is, see, it comes with a key, which is really nice. Keyhole. And it also comes with a, not a digital, but a standard gauge, temperature gauge, which is, I've heard that they're junk, and they are. The first time I regulated the gauge, it worked fine. After that, it was just, no, I went out and bought a new gauge, and I will show you that in a second. Like I said, it comes open like that. You have the top drawer that comes out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cigars, I'm going to put them in a bag. This is the digital gauge that I bought from eBay as well. Works phenomenally. Highly recommend this one. It does your temperature in the box, out of the box. It's great. So I'm going to put that right there to the side. And as you can see, I have more cigars in the bottom. I've been meaning to clean this thing out for a while, and re-season it, but I just never had the time. And like I said, you gotta take all your cigars out. Get a bag, plastic bag. Ziploc bag would be preferable, but if you don't have any on hand, then just find a grocery bag and tie it. Like I said, you only need to really do this for maybe an hour or two to let it season. Some people like to go. Now, for a new humidor, if you're just starting out brand new, you need to let it go overnight to 2 to 4 days to season your humidor if you're starting out brand new. Now, say you've had a humidor and there was nothing in it and it's been dry. Oh, I haven't smoked a cigar in years. I want to get some more cigars. I have a humidor. Might as well get it started up again. Then that's when you let it sit for 4 days. And and usually that will do the trick for you. So, like I said, my cigars are they're not too dry. There's been one or two that's been bad dry, but not bad like where I couldn't smoke or anything like that. But yeah, the sink holds about 100 plus cigars. I think it holds around 130, 100 and somewhere around there. But just get them out as fast as you can and as carefully as you can. Like I said, these are your investments, so you want to take care of them. You want them to be able to last a long, long, long time. And I'm going to grab that, and there's a little piece of paper that came with it. I kept it. Okay. Now that all of my cigars are out, I don't know how many I have. I'm not going to count them. But yeah, that, and you need, alright, this is what you need. Besides the distilled water, you need a container to hold the water. You need a rag or a sponge. Particularly if you're going to do a rag, make sure it's nice and soft. And I forgot about these ones. How silly of me. Anyway, get all your cigars. Of course, you're probably gonna drop some when you put them. Okay, now that all the cigars are in a bag, like imagine someone came up to you and said, "Here you go. Here's all these cigars." Like I'd be like, "Oh shoot, yeah." All right. Now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take out your humidifier, which is usually it's this thing right here. Now if you wanted, I'm not seeing any mold on it, which is a good thing. Very good thing. Now what you're going to want to do, take your distilled water, pour it into your thing, not too much. I think this thing's lasted me about maybe a year and a half now. So that's really cool. You need a bag or a Ziploc bag to put into the into here when you let it you're gonna wet the sponge fully, but that's gonna be I'm gonna do it in steps, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about the bag until then. Alright. Pretty dry in here. So like I said, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your rag, dip it in the distilled water. You don't want it too wet, but yet you want it to have moisture on there. You don't want it dripping, but you want enough to wipe down the humidor. And like I said, don't be afraid. Actually, I think this is an old shirt, but it's fine because it's 100% cotton. It's Gildan. Alright. So you got your rag or your shirt nice and damp. You want to start wiping down the humidor. Wipe down every nook and crevice. Now you're not going to damage it by getting it wet. The only way you could really damage it is if you had loose water, like running water in here. Other than that, you're not really going to damage it at all. And you just want to wipe down bottom. You may not be able to see it, but basically I'm just wiping down the bottom sides. smells really good in here too. Cedar always has a good smell to it. Re-wet my rag real quick. You want to definitely get up on top of the lid. Anywhere where there's cedar you want to get it. Just do as best you can. I mean, you might miss some spots. I know you are. I'm probably missing spots too. But as long as you see the definite, color change of the wood, you're fine. Like I said, just get as much of the nooks and cracks as you possibly can. And this thing, not really doing it for me enough, really, for my taste. But you should really have a sponge when you do this. But like I said, if you get a droplet of water in here, just wipe it. Just give her a good wipe all over. So easy, a caveman can do it. Remember that old Geico commercial? Alright. But anyway, damp it up a little bit more. I like to go a little heavier on the door part of the box because that's where the seal's at, and that's where you want it to seal at the most. Not too heavy, but don't put too much weight on it. So yeah, just get nice and damp on the inside, and then when you think you got it all, close your lid. I forgot a piece. Okay, close your lid, let that set up. Now you're going to want to take your extra pieces, if you have a divider one or something like that, and you're going to want to wipe it down. So you can get that nice subtle change in the wood. Like this thing, I might do a little heavier with the water on this piece because to me it seems like it's more drier. Or it's the driest because it's so high up. But like I said, just go into your water. So you get in between like this pieces, anywhere that's got a hole or anything like that. And just, work it, work the water into the wood. Wet it one more time. And if you look at my water, it's kind of turning like a hazy gray. And that's from the wood. It's normal. By the way, don't reuse this. Toss this out when you're done. Fresh water all the time, every time. And like I said, you can get distilled water pretty cheaply nowadays. think some of them. I think I got my liter for maybe $1 or something, maybe even less than that. I don't really remember. Like if you go to Family Dollar or Dollar General and get some distilled water, they'll probably be like, "Oh yeah, we have it for like 89 cents." Like, oh okay, cool. But yeah. And like I said, we use distilled because it's cleaner water. Make sure you get in the nooks and crannies as best as you can. And then when you get it done, back in the water, open up your box, drop that back down, and you hear that nice, that means the wood is swelled. Wood swelled and it just slam, so that's a good thing. It means you're getting it to seal. Some people, they say, oh, put a ashtray or something heavy over it to help seal it up. I don't really think you need to do that. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your humidor, this part, it's just on the inside it's just a flimsy piece of sponge type fabric type thing. Stick it in there. Let it soak up some of the water. You want it to soak up for maybe about 30 minutes or so. Maybe less. And while that's doing that, my gauge, do some fine tuning, do some stick it back in here if you wanted to get a reading. See, even just by putting it in right now, it's gone up a degree. It was at 72, now it's at 73. And you want to just keep doing this. You want to let this sit for a little bit, about 30 minutes or so, maybe 20, maybe even less. I'm probably going to soak this for about maybe 20 minutes, which is not that long. And then after that, while that's doing this, what you can do is get your rag. Mine's already damp. You're going to take a bag, re-wet the rag, fully submerge it in here. Wring it out so that it's not, dripping wet, but you want it to be moist. Take your bag. You're going to open up the humidor. You're going to go on the bottom. You're going to stick it right in the middle. And you're going to stick this back on top. While that's doing that, let this soak. About 20 minutes. And let's see, it's 1:30, 1:31. I started soaking that probably 1:29. So 20 minutes from now, at 1:50, this will be ready to come out. And then take it out. You let it set for a few minutes. You don't want it going back in dripping wet. You want it to set out for a few minutes, dry off a little bit. Then you stick it back into your humidor. After that, you can then remove. Wait, never mind. Don't remove the rag yet. Let the rag sit in there for another hour or two, and then you can take it out, and then your humidor should be set to a better degree. And what this will do, it'll give back moisture to your cigars. So um actually, I don't even think this thing needs 30 minutes. I think it just needs 10 seconds. Yeah, 10 seconds. I don't know why the heck I got 30 minutes. Alright, don't let this sit in there no more than 10 seconds. 10 to 15 seconds. Let it absorb some of the water. Shake some of the loose water out. And it's definitely heavier than what it was, so that's a good thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab a paper towel so I can dry that off. I'm going to stick that back in here. Alright, now that I'm back with some paper towel, I'm just going to lightly take the excess water off. I'm going to let it sit back in there just for a few more seconds. I really want it to absorb as much water as I can. This is basically how I do it because I really don't have a lot of time. I'll let this sit in there maybe a few more minutes and then go from there. But anyway, this right here, I would like to get they have beads, and basically it comes in a little glass. They have like a 2-ounce or whatever, 4-ounce, 8-ounce, and the beads keep your humidor at the right humidity. And you just basically what you do is when you watch it, when it gets to low, it's kind of like it's like reading a dipstick. It gets low, you fill it up, and then when it's high, you leave it alone. And I need to invest in some of those. I would like to invest in some of those humidor wipes. They're like individual, they're like moist towelettes, but for your humidor, and you just open it up and you wipe down your humidor on the inside. But those things, I've seen those on eBay, and I think they cost around like 6 something for like 4 packets. And it's not that bad of a price, but right now I just don't have the extra money for it, so I have to do it the old-fashioned way. Which, I mean, doesn't really bother me, it's just a time thing. But say like if you bought a new humidor and like, oh, how do I season it? How do I get it prepared? This is exactly how you do it. You wipe it down, let it sit. You soak this for 10, 15 minutes, 20 tops. Take it out, dry it off a little bit, put it back in, and then you let this sit with the moist rag in there for about 4 days. If it's a new humidor, or if it's been dried out for too long, then you might want to do that. But say like if you it's only dropped maybe 10%, 20% on your gauge, you just need to wipe it down, let the rag in there sit for maybe a half hour, and then maybe if you wanted to, you could do it for 2 hours, depending on, your time frame and things like that. But usually what I do is I wipe it down, put everything back in, let it soak up moisture, let it do its thing, let the gauge do its thing, set it for about maybe an hour, hour and a half, and then I put everything back in there, and then I'm good to go. So that's usually how I do it. See, for me, there's no wrong way to do it. There's no right way to do it. I mean, as long as you're taking the exact same steps and you're using what you're supposed to use, I mean, how can you go wrong? I mean, yeah, if you do it my way, you might have to wipe it down maybe a month sooner. See, for me, I've tried to do it at least once a month. I haven't done it for maybe a month and a half, so I'm probably gonna let this set up for about maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and then go from there. So I don't really think I need to go the full four days, but I am gonna let this sit in here for about maybe 2-3 hours, and go from there. And I think that'll take care of my problem. And then, like I said, next month comes around, December. Probably before Christmas, I'll probably be doing this again. But I just wanted to show you guys how easy this is. Like I said, you don't really need fancy stuff to do this. Just get some distilled water. Get, go online, pay a few more bucks for the digital hydrometer. Get that. And just basically, it keeps your cigars, longer, fresher. You're investing hundreds of dollars, maybe even thousands of dollars, maybe even $50, $75 for 5 cigars, and you have a smaller humidor, and you want to preserve those cigars. I mean, you're not going to smoke all those cigars in one day, are you? Of course not. So you want to have something where you can put them in and keep them fresh for until you want to smoke them. Now, me, I like to smoke almost every day. I like a good cigar. I like a good pipe. I think last night I smoked one of my 7Ls, and it was the St. Nicholas 7L, white stem, beautiful bowl, and it was one of the greatest smokes I've had in a while. I put some, what the heck, Cult Blood Red Moon in there, and it was fantastic. I haven't had it in months. I've tried to save it because that's like my all-time favorite tobacco for pipes. And, what are you doing? Get me your stuff. But, oop. Sorry, it's my kitten playing in the bag next to me. Get out of the bag. You're gonna smother yourself. Start the Nugan. We should have named him Sweet and Sour. Can you see him? You probably can't see him. There he is. This is my kitten Speckles. Well, technically adolescent cat. We found him at the local parts store, so we brought him home, and he needs to get fixed, but he's playful. But sometimes he gets a little too rough, and he doesn't know when to back down the claws, so sometimes we have to give him a little swatting. But anyway, back to the humidor. And he's getting back into the bag. But yeah, anyway, like I said, this thing's been soaking for, it's actually even heavier now, which is very good. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it, wipe down the extra. Doesn't need much. You don't want it dripping when it goes into your humidor. Let's see, 72.4. Put this sucker. Oh, it smells great. I don't know why, but the inside of my humidor smells absolutely fantastic. Alright, well, it sounds like it's got a good seal on there. So I think I'm going to end the video with that. Like I said, dump that out when you're done. And like I said, just buy new distilled water when you run out. And like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing my new kitten slash adult or young adult or adolescent kitten. And I hope to see you guys soon. And please subscribe and write down your comments below if there's anything that I missed or you don't understand. Comment down below. Feel free, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.